All right, hey. In today's video, I've posted some of this before on maybe the Facebook group. I think I posted it on Reddit, and just talked about it in general. But I've been spending months at this point trying to figure out a fun, cool, unnecessary, which is what I love, backlit Suzuki logo for the front of the Jimny. And I have been through many iterations of just trying to figure out the best way to make this work. So different LEDs, different designs, just a variety of things to try to just make it look good, make sure the LEDs don't have you can't see every light and hotspot and all the stuff that comes along with that. And I think I finally figured it out. But to show you a little bit on my journey, I've got a pile of stuff here and I'll show you kind of where I started, but I want to say, I've got so many. This was my first version. And you can see, it's all one piece. Doesn't come apart or anything. And it's got a bit of a channel in here. And what I tried to do was just wrap the LEDs around the outside. And I thought that I'd get enough light to shine through. But because the way that this stops and the white comes off the edge, I wasn't getting a lot of light in the corners. It just wasn't looking great. And I thought, well, maybe it's the material I'm using, because I'm using white. I tried different thicknesses, but then I went and I found a clear material that I could print with, and I tried it again. Same exact design, but in a clear. And it was kind of the same problem. I could not figure out a good way to get it to light, and I was seeing the print pattern, even in the white, honestly, I was seeing a little bit of the pattern, and I kind of, honestly, I gave up. It wasn't working, I didn't love it. I went to this version. If you follow the Facebook channel, you saw some of my images of these grill inserts, because I've got that Hummer Jeep style grill. I was just playing around with just accents for the grill. This one is just a nice colored surround that you can slot in there. You can color match it to your car. Then I did some that have a little bit more patterns in them. And I thought they were fun and interesting. I actually really like these ones in mine. I just haven't produced a set yet. But in that I thought, well, gosh, I could use that same idea and produce something that goes in there. And, does it fit? Sure. But I didn't love it. I'd actually go this way. So I kind of just gave up and sat on it for a while. I had tried another version with these kind of LEDs. So these are just disc LEDs, and I was slotting them into here. So when you mounted it on the back, you were getting backlit. But I was getting hot spots, and in some cases it was just super bright, too bright. And I didn't want it to be horribly disruptive. I wanted it to be kind of a cool, subtle glow. So I've gone round and round. I thought I had other LEDs I tried too. I don't know if I have those handy. But I think I went through another kind of LED too, but these are the ones I started with. They're waterproof, so they're super, so I didn't have to worry about creating a case that was watertight, which I would have had to have done with this version, because these are not waterproof. So I started out with creating a gasket, and it was just it was way too much. Here's one of my prototypes on how to fit those inside there. And it just wasn't great. So then I tried to take the same design and print it in pieces. So I thought, well, if I can print this piece separate and then slot, I don't think I have that piece handy. Oh yeah, I do right here. And then, put the LEDs in here, then slot this into place, that might work. And it still kind of gave me the same problems with where the little corners were. It just wasn't working out great. And so I just went round and round and round, and I stumbled upon a video where, I'm obviously a big 3D print fan, and I stumbled on a video of a guy, multiple videos of guys, gals, whatever, making like neon signs, and I started to watch those to better understanding how are they lighting their stuff and getting like a consistent look without seeing all the hot spots. And what it really comes down to is that they're using the basic concept, but a diffuser. So I designed this. It's super thin. I think it's maybe 1 millimeter thick. It's pretty thin. You can kind of see it's flexible, but it's just white, and it's solid white because I figured that would be able to diffuse the light enough, not be too bright, get rid of some of the hot spots. And then the idea is, I also tried it in a clear. So you see I've got white and a clear, and I'll talk about the result of that in a second. And then I designed a much simpler design. I don't need a cap because these LEDs are waterproof. I put little slots in it so you can just zip tie it to the center slot in the grill, and I'll show you in a sec. And then it's just got a channel in here where you just lay down the LEDs around the entire perimeter. So I can cut this to length, and I just followed the entire perimeter. I'll post a photo. I have a photo of it. It's already installed, and I probably should have waited, but I was excited. So it just runs the perimeter of the entire inside of this, and then this just slots back into the top of it, just like that. And you get the one wire that runs out the back. It's a hot in the ground, and you can just wire it up, and it looks really, really good. And I've got a photo of it lit up and not lit up installed, so you can kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, it's funny how I tried so many different iterations, and it always, everything ends up this way, but simplest is best. And this is the simplest. So on my version that I installed, I put a little dab in each one of these corners of super glue just to hold it in place. Again, I don't need watertight at this point because the LEDs are waterproof. But it's got a really good fit and probably wouldn't go anywhere. Like, that's installed. Like, you really got to pull on it. I mean, it's not going to come out. So I probably don't need to glue it in place. But I figured, why not? Just a little safety. I just literally a dot. I didn't put a lot on at all, just a dot. And because I did want to be able to, like, if I had to force remove it, I could. But yeah, so super simple design now. It fits nicely between the center slot of the Hummer style grill. I've got one zip tie running horizontally or vertically, and it's pretty snug. I was going to run one horizontally too because I did spots for both, but I don't think I need it. And yeah, I'll show it to you installed. But yeah, I just wanted to take a couple minutes because I know I've talked about it before. I don't know if I did a video or not on it. I don't even remember. But it's just a lot. It was a lot to get to this point, and I can't say it's perfect. I can't say I'm not done or finished messing around with it because I never feel like I'm done. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. And I'm pretty happy with it. I just installed it today, so I'm going to run with it for a couple of weeks. I've got to wire it up. I did a test just by wiring it to the battery, but the daytime running light wires are right there, so super simple to tap into. And so it'll come on with my daytime running lights. And again, it looks good when everything's lit up. It's not overpowering. But you'll see it. I should try to capture a shot of it at night. So maybe tonight, and I'll drop it in at the end of the video, I'll capture a night shot of it so you can see. It's hard to capture in a camera because you either blow it out with it being so bright or you darken it up and you just can't really see it. But you'll get the point. But yeah, I just wanted to share. I'm pretty happy with the result. I know I posted in the Facebook group, and I think I posted it on Reddit. I have not posted on my personal stuff yet, but maybe by the time you see this, I will have. But I've got 2 extra sets of these LEDs, and so I've offered to produce 2 more of these if anybody's interested in buying them. I think I listed them for $60. There's some assembly for me to do all that, glue this into place. I bought these and the hours of just design time, so it may seem a little pricey. And maybe the price will come down, and maybe I'll make them available all the time. I think I'm pricing it based on the way I feel and all the work that I put into it, which isn't fair to all of you, but that's where it's at for now. So maybe by the time this comes out, the price will be lower, because this is super easy to produce now. Doesn't take long to print. I'm really happy with the design. And then, I've got 2 of these. I could buy more and I could, put this together, but there's a little bit of assembly that most of my stuff doesn't have. So, but yeah, so that's this video. Let me take you over and show you. So here it is installed. As you can see, it does stick out a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. It looks kind of cool on there. You don't see this style grill with logos. Normally I think Hummer sometimes will put the letters in the slots. I did start looking at a design of these inserts that would put the letters Jimny across there, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. Someone recommended that, but I've got a way to mount this. But you can see how that looks when it's in there. It looks pretty good. So just imagine all of them lined up in there. I think it'd be pretty nice to do that. I just haven't done it. I've got to figure out a way to create I was going to print some clips on the back side so it just snaps in. So some work to do there, but something I've been playing with. But yeah, you can see the install again, just a zip tie up there, holding it into place. The idea of having it come all the way up and around might clean it up so you don't see that, but you're still going to see something because it has to, you got the wire coming in and everything, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. But that's it. And yeah, before I let you go, I just designed and printed these new fog light covers. I think they look so good. I had solid ones on. I had these ones on here, these on, and I love them. I think they're great, but it always bothered me that if I wanted to turn the fog lights on, I couldn't because they were covered up. And now I think these look good. I like the protective grid look. They look a little bit more rugged. I like the Suzuki written inside there. And they still function. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not really using them for actual fog lights. They're more for looks, but now I can turn them on and they actually work. So I thought that was pretty cool. I have also redesigned my phone mount. So the original one, I don't have it in here, but the original one would mount, and it still does, but would mount in the little coin holder that's to the right of your heater controls. And it required you to have one of those kind of vent style mounts that you would just kind of slide into the 2 slots. I don't think I have that handy either. I thought I did, but anyway, it fit most of that style phone mount. And it was, MagSafe. You just stuck your phone to the back side of it and it worked. And I thought it was great, but I started playing around with the idea of what if it actually used a real MagSafe? So, because that one didn't charge, it just held my phone. And I installed a wireless CarPlay stereo, and I no longer need to plug it in to get CarPlay because it's wireless. And I thought, well, if that's one less thing I have to do when I get in, is plugging in my phone, and I can just slap it onto this, and this starts charging it, connects wirelessly, then we're great. So I came up with this. I have an adjustable version too, but one of the things I was running into is the adjustable part. I couldn't really get it to stay tight. This is it here with the MagSafe in place. And you can see it moves, which is really, really cool from the standpoint of adjusting. But I cannot get, and I've got an idea, but I'm not sure it's worth the effort, to get it to tighten up enough where the phone wouldn't kind of like move out of position as you hit bumps and stuff. So I decided to take the angle that I liked and just fix it that way. Because once it's adjusted, I don't really need to adjust it. The other thing is you can see this drop down here. My original design didn't have that drop down. It was just this. But the top half of my phone when mounted was blocking the vent. And in the summer, no big deal, right? You're getting AC anyway, don't care. And so you can see, right, this vent here is what it was blocking. So the phone would sit and it would block that. But I was worried that when summertime came around and I turned the heat on, like the back of my phone would get super hot and that would be problematic. I have that same concern here with my GPS speedometer. We're going to see how this does. I think it'll be all right. It's got a little bit of, it's all covered in the back. We're going to find out what happens, but I figured I could fix it there. So I dropped it down. So now when it mounts, it's not blocking that vent. So that's that design that I've been working on. But yeah, I think that's probably it. Oh, I did these logos. I did a few different ones, and this is what I've got installed now. I don't know if I'll keep it forever, but I like the idea of it. I found a version of this online, and I thought it was a super cool logo. So I thought, well, I'll produce, a printed version of it that matches. As you can see, the yellow. In some situations, it looks like a perfect match. In this situation, you can see how not a match the yellow is. But I still think it looks pretty cool. So I'm leaving it for now. I've got another idea I'm playing around with that I've seen that I really liked, and I'm going to try to see if I can figure that out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's my stuff. I don't think I've done too much more. My digital gauges are holding up super nicely. I absolutely love them. Now that I've fixed the power situation, they come on every single time, super fast. It's really cool to see like the Jason and the Jimny logo in my car pop up on there. Like I'm really happy with how that turned out. Here's another iteration of a logo I did, thinking like, well, maybe if the color of the car showed through, like that would be better. And maybe it is. I don't hate it, but just playing and I was thinking the issue with this one was more like, how do I get it to stick? There's not a lot of surface area to put something on to stick it to the car. So that was the issue with that one. I also did these ones, which are also not bad. I like this one a lot. You've got the turbo in there, and if you look at, if I put it on there, like it kind of looks good, right? I might switch over to that. I like the idea of that, that finish, center it over the handle. It's kind of neat and different. I started to play around with what if I could design custom turn signal side marker lights. So I started doing this. This is not the best print, which is part of my concern. I think I can get it to print better, so I'm going to play around with that a little bit. But if so, that would give me just freedom to do whatever I want. This is a translucent orange filament, so kind of neat. And the last thing I've been playing around with is like, what if I did some kind of surround that goes on here? This is just a generic shape for now for fit purposes, but and then what's on this space here could be whatever you want. It could be a shape, it could be a logo, it could be whatever you call your Jimny. It could just be a Jimny logo. It could be the Rhino. So many different things. Now this obviously nobody's probably going to want this color because it's just a filament I have laying around that someone actually very nicely gave to me because they weren't using it, and so I've been playing around with it a little bit. But I thought this could be a neat idea, so I've got some work to do there. But that's the stuff I've been playing with. I don't stop, but that's it for now. I'm going to stop talking and just leave it here for now, and we'll catch up on the next one. So thanks for watching.